Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. I'm currently in Asheville, North Carolina. I apologize for the little slant in the video right now. I have been trying to figure out how to set up my phone and it just hasn't really been working, so we're gonna go with this. And then also I only have a limited time to speak before the generator or whatever goes on. So I wanted to get on here and talk about how I feel today and kind of just things that I've never really thought about before, and also how I feel about Asheville. So let's start with that. So I left Denver, Colorado, July 1st, and I was on the road for a little bit, and I've been spending the last 2 days, I think, out in Asheville here, house sitting, and I'm honestly so sad, just leaving Denver and leaving my friends, and it's honestly been probably the hardest goodbye of my life, because I'm saying goodbye to people, but also I think to a stage in my life, to really fundamental, important, formational, is that a word? I don't know, stage in my life. And honestly, it's so weird talking because I haven't talked, I feel like, in the last few days. I've been like on the road and whatnot. But anyways, I don't feel like people talk enough about how hard it is moving away or saying goodbye to the friends that you've made as an adult, specifically in your 20s, right? Because that's where I am at, and maybe they do and it just hasn't really been on my radar for whatever reason. But it's really hard. It's really hard because, and I was telling some people this, like, I feel like when you grow up, right, you're gonna go to high school, get that done, go to college, get that done, and then move out, and then everything in your life up to this point is pretty much like prescribed to you, and you know what you're gonna do, you know how much time you have. And then as an adult, when you start to make your decisions, right, like, that is completely up to you. Nobody is navigating the ship for you or telling you, that you need to leave or that you need to stay. So when you do make a choice and when you do make sacrifices in your life, it's like, I'm not for 1 second questioning, oh my gosh, it's wrong. It's more so like, wow, this just really hit me like a truck or like a bus. It's so unexpected, because of course it is. I don't really know what I'm saying here, but what I'm trying to say is that it's really, really hard leaving your friends and and whatever in your 20s, I do think, and I think maybe this goes for every stage, but it just is really hard hitting because it's kind of like the first thing that you do as an adult. And I don't know, please ignore all of that. I don't know why I'm ranting. There are so many flies and stuff like that in Asheville, which I'm like so shocked by, I guess. I don't know why I'm shocked by that, but I just don't feel like there's that many in Colorado and places that I've been. But I don't know, it's like when you leave something that you don't need to leave, right? Like, nothing is like, it's not like, oh my gosh, someone's dying, you need to move back, right? It's like when you make an active choice to move somewhere, when you are so content where you were, it can be really hard. It can be really hard. Whereas I feel like if you were miserable somewhere and you move somewhere, yeah, it's still hard, but you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. But if you're really happy somewhere and then you move and you're like, and nothing was really pulling you except, XYZ factors, it can be really hard. That's all I'm saying. So I validate, if anybody else is going through the same experience, I completely relate. And it's, yeah, completely relate to that, because it's the people you're leaving, but also in your mid to late 20s, right? People have told me this before and I never really understood it, but I get it now, where it's like you are really starting to understand that life, there are stages in life. You're young, you have all your friends, you guys are single or you're dating, but it's not that serious yet. You're like, nobody's starting families yet. And then all of a sudden, people are getting serious. People are wanting to start families. And so every stage in life is so temporary. Temporary? Why did I say that like that? Not that, though. It's more so just like life just keeps going. It evolves. It evolves. That's the word I'm looking for. It evolves. And it's great to evolve with it, right? But it can be really sad leaving certain chapters behind. But it just, you know, you start to realize as an adult when there are so many changes around you that, like, yeah, this is reality. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, I'm in Asheville, loving it. I was thinking, do I just love cities that start with an A? Because I love Amsterdam. That's pretty much all I can think of, but I really love Asheville. It's so freaking cute. If you want like a week-long or weekend vacation getaway somewhere that's, you know, in the US and has like city and outdoors, I highly recommend this area. I have just been hanging out in the city for the most part, going to like breweries and art galleries, shopping and whatnot, but I'm really excited to go to Black Mountain tomorrow and explore some of the outdoors here. It's really beautiful. I love it. I have tons of recommendations if anybody, I might put it out there somewhere into the world, but for now it's all in here. But I am loving it so far. It's always been on my list of places to visit and to go to, so I'm really happy that I've made it happen. What else as an update in life? I watched the first 2 seasons of Killing Eve. So good. I have a newfound obsession with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I've been listening to basically all of her interviews and everything since I watched Fleabag, which I freaking love. And I think that if you're a guy, please watch it. Let me know what you think of it, because as a woman, it's incredible. I think the best show out there so far, and by far. And I am curious on a male's point of view, because any guy that I've shown it to, like one, was like, I don't get it. I'm like, what? This is a masterpiece. What do you mean? And I never had an answer to the question, like, dead or alive, who would you want to have? What figure would you want to have a dinner with? But my answer is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the creator of Fleabag. She's one of the writers of Killing Eve. She's just incredible. And yeah, such a smart lady. So there's that. Killing Eve has been, okay, why am I like talking about Killing Eve anyway? What else is there to update life update on Saturday, this random summer Saturday? A year ago I was in Amsterdam, and in about a few days I'm gonna be back in the UK, in the Cotswolds, so that'll be exciting. You know, one more last trip before I kind of like go back to Boston and settle in a little bit. So yeah, feeling good about that. You know, I was rewatching my video, and in my last video I used a lot of filler words, specifically using and all the time and just talking in a run-on sentence a lot. And so I think in between that last video and now, anytime I would talk to myself, I would try to end my sentences and start a new one. Clearly it's not really working in this video, but I figured out why I do the filler so much. It's because in real life, when you're talking to somebody, you're having conversation back and forth. You're not just going on and on and on in these perfect sentences. You're saying a sentence or two, they talk, you say they talk. But on a video like this where you're talking, right, it's a different format, and so it's a lot, you know, like, anyway. So if you ever judge anybody for using so many filler words, I don't think it's a great metric of judgment. Okay, I see somebody, so I'm gonna stop talking. But anyways, just enjoying a little snack out here, bread, prosciutto, and blueberries, and I'm gonna go relax a little bit before I find some more live music for tonight. Okay, Asheville's live music is spectacular. If you ever go to One World Brewing in West Asheville, I highly recommend going on Thursdays. There's this band called Fish, and I think they're like a fish cover band. I don't really know. Spectacular. I might try to go there maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. Tonight I want to go. There's this like, they have this summer thing called Shindig on the Green, and I want to go see what that's all about. It's like bluegrass festival vibes, and yeah, I'm gonna do that. Great. Well, bye.